Well, hello, my beautiful Scorpios. Welcome to your reading for September 2018. Today is the 28th of August, so the energies are really going to start now. We just had the moon in Pisces, and I don't know, I just feel it's going to be very good for you guys. By the way, this is for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising. If you have signs or planets, in Scorpio, when you're ruled by Pluto and Mars. So, it's kind of about the underground. This is probably why you have that very secretive trait to you. And the trait of, well, it kind of reminds me of Virgo a little bit of, can anybody do it as well as I can, so I might as well just do it myself. Do you know that kind of energy? I don't know why I'm picking that up right now, but I'm picking that up pretty strongly. So we'll see. Maybe that's going to come out in your reading somehow. But this is also for those who've been intuitively guided. I want you just to trust within your intuition. If something made you click on the video, trust within that, especially because of the length of my videos. I know that kind of weans out some people, and perhaps, I used to look at that and be like, well, will everyone get the messages that are supposed to get their messages? Because, you look at, oh my God, this reading is an hour and 50 minutes long. But I know that my guides, I don't know, I feel like they have me read this way. I've tried to do short readings. You guys know that. I'll even state that in the beginning, but it doesn't turn out that way. But I'm really starting to feel, because that's what it's meant to be. It just helps those who really are intuitively guided to show up for their messages. And, the regular subscribers, I am definitely picking up on your energy. And, we're a collective here, and that's why so many of us can resonate with one reading, right? Because we're going through similar experiences. Doesn't even matter what your sign is. It's more about your soul group, I feel. And that's why a lot of times when I read, I don't really concentrate so much as like, this must be a water sign or this must be an earth sign. No, we go by the energy of, because we all are a mixture of everything. So anyways, I want to welcome everyone. I want to thank you for your continued support. I love you guys so much. I have so many of our Scorpios in my life that I just love dearly. My daughter's Scorpio, my brother's Scorpio, just many. I could just go on and on and on. My father was a Scorpio. And all different personalities, though, I have to say. So that's what you want to keep in mind, too. When I do reading and someone will, I'll be like, okay, well, we have an earth sign here who represents loyalty. I'll have people be like, well, not my earth sign. Well, you're probably right, because they do have other traits. So we go more by the energy, and I know a lot of you are really starting to trust in that now. You just know if a reading is for you or not. Don't want to try to force it. Sometimes you do have to listen to it later in the month for it to really make sense, unless your intuition is really on point. And that's the thing, when we start a reading, invite your spirit guides in. Ask them to give you this confirmation. I always invite my guides in. I mean, matter of fact, the bull has become my symbol to my guides that I'm prepared and ready to start a reading. And that also means that then I'm inviting your guides in. So trust in that. And don't worry about asking for confirmation. You'll receive it. You'll definitely receive it. I want to thank you for your donations. I have so much gratitude for that. I don't know. You guys just continue to blow me away. You know, you just do. So thank you. Anything else? I don't think so. I think we should just get right into your reading, and if anything comes up, we'll talk about at the end of the reading. So we're going to go ahead and start with the Tibetan singing bowl. This is just to, what you want to do is just really take in the vibration of the bowl. Even if the sound cuts out, the vibration is continuing, okay? I love this bowl. It has brought tremendous joy to me, and it's just such a welcome addition to the readings. So, and I know a lot of you are enjoying it too, which brings me joy, because I truly do this for you. Okay, so we're going to begin. Beautiful. I just felt like that vibration was just taking me along. It's like I'm traveling through this tunnel of light, and I don't know. That was just a special tone. I don't know. Just for you. Okay. Let's go ahead and begin your reading. Actually, let me move these over here. Bring this down a little bit. Okay. All right, guys. So go ahead and, start taking in some deep breaths. Clear your mind. Release your expectations. Kind of get into Zen mode. Let the reading come to you. Let the messages come to you. When you're watching a reading, I want you to remember, we can be telling one story, but there can be different versions of that story. This is where your intuition comes in. This is where your guides will let you know. You do not need to know the name of your guides. I feel like someone just asked that question. You do not need to know the name of the guides. Truthfully, do they even really have a name? They're happy if you want to give them a name. For some, I have. Some of our guides can be people who have crossed over, loved ones who have crossed over. I definitely know that my sister and my son are very strong, have a very strong influence in our readings. It did not take long before I really felt the energy of my son, probably within a couple months. And that doesn't mean that is their only purpose. Once they've crossed over, that is not their only purpose. But it's definitely a big one. They want to help. Many times, I have to say too, I've done a lot of readings where I've read where a parent has come across, and this parent, mother or father, while they were here in the 3D, I don't want to say they had regret, because all is forgiven, all is in perspective, but, they could have, in your perspective, not been the best. And they come through then as a guide, feeling that they can actually help you more from the other side. Other side, I just mean right across that veil, right? Right there, right on the other side. Talk to your guides like they're right in the room with you, because they are. Just talk. Normal conversation. I just feel like I had some people asking that question. Let's begin. Okay. Let me put my feet on the ground. All right. Scorpio, September 2018. Those intuitively guided. What will be? What do we need to know? What are we allowed to know? We ask for help through our situations. Guidance for that we're dealing with. We know. September 2018. Well, we open up with the Four of Wands. One of my favorite cards. Beautiful. We have Judgment next to this. Major Arcana. We have the Seven of Cups. We have the Tower. I do feel like for some, just with the Four of Wands and Judgment there, that we may have some who are going through a divorce, going through a separation. You know, as I say that, I want to clarify that I am feeling that energy, but I'm also feeling the energy of, like some type of guilt surrounded, some type of guilt within that. You know, that energy, the vows that we take till death. I can't even think of them. Jeez. But I am feeling like a little, not regret, but like guilt. Well, let's get the rest of the cards out. We have the Five of Cups coming under the Four of Wands, which right away is a 9. So could certainly be the end of the journey, the end of this pinnacle within your life. Judgment, the number 20, but you know, it's 2 10s, remember number 10s. I'm also picking up the energy of someone is on the verge of asking for a divorce. Someone is on the verge of ending a relationship. You know, it's almost like you have 2 strikes against you. One more strike, I'm out of here. One more strike, you're out. Yet I have the Tower mirroring this Four of Wands, so I don't know. I just kind of feel like there will be another strike. I also feel that there is a lot of guidance around you. spiritual guidance around you, trying to help you through this period. So you're definitely dealing with something that, you know, again, it's like one more strike and you're out. But, you know, you're saying this to someone else. And immediately when I felt that energy, I felt that there will be another strike. There will be another situation. And it's like you are sitting there, not sitting there, but you're waiting. You're waiting for that other strike. You are almost anticipating it. Okay, for some of you, this is what's going on. So you're in a relationship. Now, it can be a marriage. It doesn't have to be. It could be a job also. You know, I only have 2 cards of cups, one being the 7 of cups and the 5 of cups. So this can certainly be anything or anyone you're dealing with where it's like you're right on that edge. You're anticipating this third strike. Now, I'm wondering, is this you hoping through your subconscious? Because you are rolled through the subconscious mind also. So is it you subconsciously calling, hoping, not hoping, anticipating that strike is going to come? Because I feel like you're almost subconsciously asking the universe to move you from one situation, just to move you out of this situation. And I do feel like it's going to happen. I do feel like, for many of you, it has not happened yet. Some of you certainly could have. Actually, I want to take this out of there because, you know, sorry to like interrupt where I'm at. But as the light comes in, you know, every once in a while, just glance inside this bowl. I see many different things as I do that. Okay. Anyway. It's like, it's like the universe, your guides, let's put it that way, your guides. You know, when I say the universe, I do mean the universe, but I mean the energy of the universe. I mean your soul family, the archangels, you know, angels, your guardian angel, those who are in charge, so to speak, of watching over you, helping to guide you. Those who were put in place for you before you came here. Those that as or when you pass, you will be meeting up with. Almost like telling the story of your life. I'm seeing that all of a sudden, like, you know, you like this, and how do I say this? Because I don't want to scare you. You know, I'm not seeing anyone's life coming to an end, anything like that. But what I'm seeing is like you sitting in this atmosphere, this beautiful atmosphere. It's almost like, I don't want to say a cloud, but just kind of like in the air, you know, no gravity. And here you come through this tunnel of light, and the anticipation of wanting to know, like those within your soul family wanting to know, tell us about your experiences, you know, with this anticipation. I don't know why I'm picking this up so strongly. This could also be, it's like your guides sitting, hanging around, kind of talking about your story. So let's go back a little bit. So I do feel like subconsciously you are calling in your soul family. I'm right at the edge. I want help with this decision because, again, there's something within this decision that I am feeling guilty about. I'm feeling is not, is not written in law as the way something should be done. It's like being Catholic and taking those vows and feeling like if I break those vows, or if I get divorced, then I am looked down upon by Source. That to me is, well, I mean, that's personal opinion, but I feel like that is something that's more created by man than by Source. But so I feel this energy of just go ahead and give me that strike, so when I make this move, I can be released from this guilt. Okay, let's keep going. Let's get the rest of the cards out. This is going to be an interesting reading, I can tell. The sun is starting to creep in further and further. Right now, it's really highlighting the Tower. By the way, I feel that it's fine that you are asking for universal help. I get it. We have the Chariot. So I feel like you are getting that help. Falling under the card Judgment. Card of Cancer. Card of Balance. Weird how I can never get all the cards up before I start talking, but the messages start coming to me. I feel like what's going on for some, and it may relate to what I've been talking about. This may be something completely different, and we'll figure it out. I feel like there is movement, okay? I feel like there's movement away from something, away from a way of being, away from a certain comfort level. Part of that comfort level wasn't really serving you, more holding you in place. And I do feel like some of you are calling on specific family members who have passed, calling on for their guidance, calling them for their guidance. When I see the Chariot, I know the Chariot doesn't just pop into one's life, right? Because within the Chariot, to take full advantage of it, there must be balance and understanding, because it is moving you to a higher vibration. And I'm wondering if that last strike is about you gaining the balance. Definitely feel, because we're opening the reading with this 4, which 4 is really about your foundation, stability within the foundation. And I feel that it is, for some of you, moving you out of, whether that's a home, a relationship, a job, what once was a source of comfort, but now that comfort has become somewhat of a crutch. You're fearing that this movement, that you won't be able to recover from it. And it's funny because I feel that energy, like I'm feeling that strongly from some of you, yet on the other side of that, I'm feeling that where this chariot is moving you to is exactly where you need to be. Let's keep going. We have the Hierophant, card of Taurus, and we have the 2 of Wands. So we opened a reading with the 4 of Wands, and our last card is the 2 of Wands. So there is movement. Within this movement, though, is opportunity. Yet, even within this opportunity, there's a certain fear, a fear. It's not the fear about what's coming. The fear or the restriction or what has been holding you in place is more about what I will be giving up. You know, when I see our opening card, whatever that number is, and we have somewhat of a matching card as our closing card, you know, it to me is like, so whatever is within this energy, I feel like I'm losing half of my belongings, half of myself, half of my soul. Yet I know that within your subconscious mind, I know within your own soul's calling, it is pushing you. And I feel like in a gentle way, but pushing you towards something. Something you're either called to do. You know, this could be your actual calling. Towards a higher type of love. For many of you, I feel like it is towards your calling. Definitely, it's towards your calling. Now, as I say that, okay, so I have this feeling of like resistance. So I have this 9, right? And it's about the journey, but it's not quite the 10 yet. Now, when I see a 9, I know that throughout this journey, throughout this time period, no matter how difficult it's been, there have been great lessons within it. There has been tremendous soul growth, even if I'm not feeling it at this moment. And that might be why I, in the beginning of the reading, said you may have to come back in a couple weeks. I don't say that very often, but I'm feeling that. So I do feel like there's a resistance within yourself. There's a resistance within your human mind, your conditioned mind, of moving towards what your soul wants. Or should I reword that? Moving towards your soul's agreement. For some of you, this is about helping others. This really is about a higher calling. This is about something within you that has always existed, but it is rising to the surface. I can tell you, some of you have gone through a pretty difficult journey, but I already can feel the energy of whatever this is, and we'll clarify it. Whatever this is, this exact experience is what you will be using to then help others. To help others expand their own souls. This feels important. And I don't feel like, okay, so what is I being called to do? I don't feel like there's one particular area, because I feel like who you're helping is many. I don't feel like, and I shouldn't limit that, but let's say that you're going through domestic abuse right now, and I do feel like some of you are. And I know it's hard. It's hard for me to even say that, yes, it was meant to be. To a point. This experience, you then turn around and you help others who've been in that situation. But I don't feel like it's just that. So I've gone through this particular situation, but there's other things within that. I need to clarify that. A lot of times I do a reading, I may not even know what I'm talking about. I am just giving you the messages I receive, and then as we clarify, it starts to make more sense to me. This journey that you're on, especially because what stands next to it is 2 major arcanas. Judgment. Judgment's about a rebirth. Judgment, on a simple term, judgment can be someone coming in, making things right, someone coming in with an apology. I'm not feeling that, but, I'm just giving you the different meanings. These 2 major arcanas for you are about a strong energy, a strong spiritual push towards your given path. And even with the Chariot, which is a very good card in Tarot, because it is about balance. It's about one's own willpower, right, to take you from one situation to another. This is universal backing. This is where I was probably feeling that guilt, right? Like I'm feeling guilt about leaving this situation. Yet at the same time, once you are on this new path, you couldn't imagine doing anything else, being anyone other than who you are. You're not able to be your true authentic self over here. It's like I'm living really within the 3D limitations. And I don't really, it's like, do I have a choice but to move into this higher calling? Of course, you'd have a choice. But what I feel that you would find is constant resistance. That energy of nothing is going right. Everything just keeps falling apart around me. I keep attracting negative energy, negative people, negative situations. That is happening to you. It is the universe really trying to give you a push. I just feel like within your own soul, those who are resonating with what I'm talking about, it's like it's going to rise to the surface as this reading continues on. I know that when the sun comes in, it makes it hard to see these cards. Honestly, it lights them up for me. It's just quite beautiful for me. But I know it's hard to come over the monitor that way. And, we'll make adjustments as we go. I just realized you have 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcanas out of 8 cards. There's some changes happening in your life, Scorpio. And for some of you at this moment, it's like you're in the thick of it. You're right at that point, right at that edge, where you're feeling this resistance, right? You're feeling this resistance. And I feel like the resistance you're feeling is outside sources. Because I feel like within you, again, maybe it's still within that subconscious mind, but it's going to be rising up. You will have clarity over that. It is to move you into really your own soul's journey. So we have some major life changes. I can tell you that even though for some of you, you do feel like if I move from this situation, I could be losing a lot. Yet that's not really the case. Yes, could you be losing material things? Yes, perhaps. What I've learned through my readings is that doesn't even matter. What if you lose every piece of furniture you have? Yet, what is replaced with that is this joy and happiness within. What if I lose all my money? Yet given that chance, you may find this is the happiest time of your life. I'm not saying you're all going to lose your money and your material goods, but what I'm saying is, for some, this is what you're thinking. To leave this situation, I am giving something up. Yet what you're giving up is nothing compared to what you will be gaining. Again, probably why you may need to come back and watch this. Okay, let's bring the clarifiers out. You know, I was going to use the Universal Tarot, and we may bring that in, but for some reason, I feel like I want to use the Cosmic Tarot. They're all prepared, by the way. I got to give a shout out to my fellow soul brothers and sisters in the state of Pennsylvania. I feel your energy again. I do have a lot of people asking me where I'm from because certain words I say. I was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I left Pittsburgh in 2000, and I've been living in New England. Well, I've been living in a couple different places, but I did come back to New England. I think 2015, after I lost my sister, I did come back to Rhode Island. But I'm feeling your energy out there. And for some reason, I feel like I need to tell you to prepare for the winter. Uh-oh. Like we're going to have, and by the way, you know, whatever weather you have, us in New England usually receive it, you know, the next day or the day after. So that means even those up here in the Northeast, I have a feeling we're in for quite the winter. You know, it's like sometimes I ask my guy, do I even have to talk about this? I feel like why Pennsylvania came up is there is quite a situation going on with an abuse within the churches, and abuse of children. Just watching that this morning on CNN, I do feel like I may have a couple readers or a couple people tuning in who you may have been through this. And I want to say everything will be okay. I also want to say that I do have feeling the energy of a judgment day for them. Judgment day. What a terrible situation. You may be involved within a lawsuit within that situation. And I don't want to just limit that to the state of Pennsylvania, by the way. But what I'm feeling is like those within power, and I don't think it's just within the church, but those who hold power claim. I feel like there's a lot that's coming crashing down. Those who abuse their power. Judgment Day. Now, I'm not feeling that it is us at all who are meant to put any type of judgment. Leave it in the hands of Source. Okay, I'm going to move on from that. I almost feel like that needs its own reading. Okay. And by the way, again, I don't feel like it's just about that situation. I really feel like even maybe within our own government here in America, those who abuse the power, Judgment Day is coming. Now, again, I'm picking up the energy. It's not for us to judge, but that doesn't mean it's not for us to sit back and do nothing. It's actually for us to rise, maybe speak up, but not cast those stones. Some of you, this may be part of what your calling is. You may be called to protest, like an inner calling to start protesting about injustices that you're seeing, and that alone may lead you into a completely different type of life. Because I do feel that energy of, this is just a scenario, but, of people being fed up, right? One more strike. One more strike. And then I grab that sign. People standing up, rising up, helping those who could not help themselves. A collective force. What I'm hearing is we the people. We the people. And through that, for some of you, I'm just telling you, for some of you, it changes your life. It puts you on that path. Okay, let's keep going. All right, let's look at this Four of Wands. Normally, you guys know I love the Four of Wands. And I am not going to just look at this Four of Wands as leaving someone, right? Leaving someone that we loved, because there may be different messages to that. But look at this. We've got the Two of Wands on here again. So we have the Two of Wands down here, mirroring this Four of Wands. Two of Wands again. I feel that energy of some, or there's a couple, there is now a path of independence. I don't feel that this path This change, though, can be difficult. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Change is hard. My God, the changes I have been through my whole life, actually, but within the last 5 years have been tremendous. But as I look back, I can see each one was a block for my growth. Even some of the most difficult energy, guys. Have I lost a lot? Well, let me tell you something. Moving into where I'm at now, I just had no furniture left. I literally just had boxes. Because I've been through so many changes, and each change and movement, right? Movement, each time giving more and more away. But I couldn't imagine doing anything or being anywhere else than I am right now. So yeah, it is like something major leaving your life, something putting you on this independent path. The push to do it, even though right now it feels more like resistance. Like, why? Why, universe? Why? But it's like all will be revealed. And my very own words, once you are on this new path, you couldn't imagine doing anything else. Boy, some of you are really being called into service in one direction or another. Let's keep going. A lot of times I feel too like when we're leaving a relationship or we're leaving a situation that feels difficult, we are, we're feeling the wounds of it. I don't feel that here. I feel like strength, power, in the best way, self-confidence rising to the surface quickly knowing that the change that you either just have made or are about to make is absolutely the right way to go. Look at this, we just had the Tower come out, which sits right above the Two of Wands. Universal help. Tower is about an ending. I often feel the Tower comes in when, for whatever the reason, we didn't end it ourselves. Kind of like a soul contract that was not fulfilled, so the universe is saying, well, this is the time. This is when you wanted it fulfilled. So here we are. What can feel difficult, again, will turn around very quickly for you. Yet, maybe you're going to feel the energy of the Tower. Maybe you're feeling the energy of the Tower right now. Some can describe this card as destructive. But it's a quick action, quick movement. Yet, is it really that quick? Because I do, again, feel like this is something you've been calling out for. Even if it's in a form of a change within yourself. It doesn't necessarily mean that I am leaving a relationship, right? I'm leaving a job. But what you are doing is there's definitely changes within you. And these changes within you are benefiting the rest. It's like you're being given this sense of power. Maybe that's why I'm talking about power. Like when you have this power, we can't abuse it. We have to use it for good. You're going to help change other people's lives through your own experiences. And I just feel like it is time. You know, it is like a soul agreement that has been asked to be fulfilled, let's say by September 1st. And the universe is saying, Scorpio, you don't remember, but that's what we're here for. It's like, here's that third strike. I do feel like for some of you, this is also about leaving a relationship, though, I have to say. And within this relationship, well, some of you lost a partner. Some of you have lost a husband or wife. A loved one. But this is more about you know, this is someone that you loved in a romantic sense. And it is their energy. Well, it's like here they are as now your spirit guide. Here they are now able to help you in this whole different way. You're not feeling it. Oh, I just had a very low plane fly by. You're not feeling their energy. But you just have to know it doesn't mean that they're not there. Okay? It doesn't mean that they're not around you. Because they absolutely are. You know, sometimes I wonder, like, why I say certain things in the beginning of a reading, talking about just talking to your guides. This is exactly why. Now, I know this is not for everyone. It's for a few of you, but yet it's important that you know this. You may have been stuck within an energy of depression, having a hard time getting out of bed. I mean, I know this energy. Yet you're being pushed because there's work for you to do. You will see them again. And maybe that's what you need to hang on to. Okay, let's continue. I know that's not for everyone, but somebody needed to hear that. We have the Devil, card of Capricorn. Again, it's that energy of what you are losing, what you feel you're losing. how you're feeling it. You know, you're feeling the negative side of it. You're definitely like within that negative side of it. Almost that energy of, I just don't believe anymore, right? I don't believe anymore. I don't believe there's a purpose for me in this world. So your guides, your loved ones, even your own soul is trying to bring you out of this. There's great purpose for you. You know, you feel small, but you're a giant. For some of you, this is a relationship. Oh boy, I can just feel there's going to be a ton of messages in this reading. And when that happens, I know it's difficult sometimes to follow along because they can go back and forth. But I have to say, as you know, we have more and more subscribers, there's more messages. So for some of you, again, I feel like we're going back into this 9. Someone you're attached to. Someone who, I know I'm talking slow. I'm just trying to get the right wording with my messages. Okay, because what I'm feeling is, for some of you, you're in this relationship, right? And you're feeling tied to the situation. Within this energy, there is a low vibration. Now, this low vibration is being caused by another, yet you're sinking into that, or you had sunk into that vibration also. Like you've taken on their energy. It's like they have stolen your energy and replaced it with their own. This is kind of the energy of, I would associate with like domestic violence. And what I mean by that is someone controlling your thought process. So, like your energy being stolen, they're pushing their energy upon you, which has lowered your own vibration. So you're feeling this restriction. You're feeling, it's like a battle within yourself. Because again, like through your subconscious mind, you know that this is not you. You know, it's like you're reacting to them in the same way that they react to you now. And I don't mean abusively. I don't mean if they're abusive to you, you're now abusive to them. But what I mean is where, well, Scorpio, I know you. You know, you you have that energy of truly wanting to help people, truly want to vibrate in the highest energy of all, yet many of you feel obligated to see something through. To not give up on someone. That's kind of what I'm feeling like, does it make me weak? It's almost like a question in your mind. Well, doesn't it make me weak if I give up on them? You know, it's like you want to fix them. You want to change them. But the opposite is happening. They're changing you, but not for the better. And this tower coming out twice, you know this subconsciously. You know this. You're feeling it in all areas of your life. Again, it is like one thing after another going wrong, right? Over and over. And then looking at the universe like, what? Like, why? You know, almost to the point where it wants to put you in that victim mode. But what's happening is spiritual help, the universe behind you, your soul's contract, is helping you battle this and bringing in the tower to move you, to raise you back up. So what you think that you're losing, and listen, sometimes you can be in a very, what's the word I want to use? Toxic relationship. And feel obligated to stay. Well, isn't it my job as a human to help them see their way? No. This is more about the energy. Now, again, you know, you may not like this, but this energy that you're going through is the exact energy you will then turn around and help many. Your job is not to fix them. Your job is to find the power within yourself, to walk away from it, to end it. I feel like a few of you have children who see this energy, and it may be within you to end. You know, it's almost like a generational thing. Well, it's the type of relationship my parents had, or my grandparents had, you know, or all my friends' parents had. But there's something within your journey where you're ending it for the next generation. So it's almost this is such tricky energy here, because it's like through your power of standing up, through your power of taking your power back, your children see that, okay, this is probably where the guilt is coming in. You know, some of you have children and it's like, I don't want to break up the family. So within your mind, you're thinking, it's better to stay married, or it's better to stay in this committed relationship for the children. but yet really isn't, because they're picking up on that energy. You can say to them, you know, don't ever allow yourself to get in this situation. But I feel like more what they need to see is you, the power of you. That is a life lesson for them. Now, I know all of you don't have children, but there's still a version of you within that. Just when you look at the energy of this person in the Two of Wands. So this person is beginning a new journey. He doesn't know what lies ahead of him. Even if he has planned it all out, it doesn't guarantee us anything, right? Yet, look within his stance. There is a power within him, just beginning, but ready to go. This is the energy I'm feeling is within you, but some of you don't feel it yet. You know, someone's making you feel small, obligated. Look at his boots. Gold. To me, that is a symbol of the wisdom that I have learned along my path, my journeys, right? This is not his first journey, yet it's new. It's a new journey for him. You know, this is another pinnacle for him. You know, I'm going to guess, let's just say he's 30, 40, I don't know. But he's not a newborn. Yet here he is on a new path, a new period in his life. You know, some of you could certainly be attached to, I don't know why I'm feeling Aries or Capricorn. It's just a need to recognize your own power within you. And because you're in, for some of you, whatever this is relating to for you, it's an energy that is making you feel small, right? It's making you feel incapable, fearful. But you're anything but that. Anything but that. Yeah, you have to take your power back. But the only way you can take your power back is to recognize that that power has been taken. That, you know, this sounds harsh, but we give away our power. Sometimes, yes, it's force, and sometimes it is out of our control to a point. I just feel like the third strike has come down. And even for some of you, this could have been the universe saying, okay, we're going to give you 3 strikes, 3 chances, perhaps. Maybe you've had 3, or let's just say 2 opportunities to end this energy. But for whatever reason, you didn't. So the universe is now doing you that favor. You know, I'm spending a lot of time on this, and then the reason I'm doing that is because I feel like there's a few of you who you're really down and out. You are really down and out, and you are not feeling, you know, when I'm talking about taking your power back, you're not feeling like you have any power whatsoever. I hope what you do is talk to your guides. You don't have to talk out loud. You know, some can meditate and really receive great blessings from that. I personally have a hard time with meditation. Doing readings really is my meditation, to be honest, because it clears my own personal mind. Someone is just feeling, boy, I felt this in someone else's reading too. You may be attached. That may be exactly who this is. Whose reading was it? We'll see if it comes to me. But it is that energy of someone else being proud of their own actions. Man, they are in a very low vibrational energy. It is the energy, and oh my dear Scorpio, I know that in your heart of hearts, you want to fix this person. You want to change this person. You feel it is part of your purpose, and if the universe is screaming at you, oh, it is no, no. Yes, you have great purpose, but it's not here. It's elsewhere. Yet within this experience are great lessons. And within this experience is the wisdom you will pull on to help others. Okay, let's keep moving. You know, I want to say I hope this reading gets better, but the bottom line is, this is about your life. I feel like I need to leave that out. Yeah, will the reading get better? Yeah, because your life is taking a different turn. All right, I'm going to go to judgment. Okay, we had a couple cards fly, excuse me. We have Lovers. Card of Gemini. Beautiful card. Beautiful energy. I can tell you right now, this is not about whoever this person is. Completely different type of energy. And not just because it's the Lover's card. It is just different energy. You know, we've gone from what almost feels like the lowest vibration one can be at to the highest. You know, is this someone that Spirit is saying we're bringing into your life? Maybe. You know, I'm looking at the stars on her sleeve. So is this something for someone that your soul is manifesting into your life at this point? This is telling us because we have this 9, which is about the journey that we're going through, that is now coming, has the capacity, the capability of coming to an end. Is it due to our own soul contract? I know I'm talking a lot about soul contract, right? Some of you may not even know what the hell I'm talking about. You know, I guess I should say it's my belief. Though I believe it with everything within me before we come to Earth. You know, which is really our learning ground for soul expansion, right? Because our soul remains for eternity. It's our human body is what we lose. So we come down here with a plan, soul's agreement. And through this plan, you know, before we come, we are able to know, let's just say, the majority of what we're choosing to come into. And at certain times through our life, we're meant to end one part of a journey to begin another. Right? So one soul contract ends, one karmic lesson ends, so we can begin a new chapter. Each soul contract that we've been through that is then able to end had great lessons within that. Those lessons is exactly what builds up the collective wisdom. The collective wisdom is what we use to be of service to others, which really is all of our purpose, right? We're not here just to serve ourselves. That doesn't mean that we can't have fun. Absolutely, we're meant to have fun. So I just feel like this, you know, especially when I'm looking at this Two of Wands, and I know the importance of what he's learned through this through this journey. And I know through that energy, let's just call him then the teacher. So you become the teacher for others. You become the light for others. Right now, you're not feeling like you can even be a light to yourself. But because you agreed upon this, right? And, you know, it kind of makes perfect sense because, you know, here I am, I've been through hell. Been through hell. And you have no choice but to keep going, right? But still, I've been through hell. Well, maybe you signed that agreement because you knew this would be the next part of it. I don't know why, but I feel like within this Lover's card, I have 2 teachers. Now, I don't mean like an actual teacher at a school, though could absolutely be. 2 teachers. Through their collective wisdom, come together. This could be a business partner. This is love. Don't get me wrong. This is love. But the coming together is with purpose. It is, I mean, it absolutely feels to me like, okay, You're being relieved from one contract, and now you're entering into this one. Look at that. We have the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles are your seeds of intention. Seven of Pentacles teaches us patience, right? I plant that seed doesn't necessarily mean that seed comes up the next day. Doesn't mean it doesn't either. It comes when it's meant to come, right? That seed of intention, sometimes, again, planted before we even come to Earth. This tells me this is also a period of great importance. You know, this person here has two pentacles, not just manifesting for oneself, especially coming next to the Lover's card. We have the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands. Fire sign. Could be Aries, Leo, Sag. This could certainly be someone who's coming in. And that may be the case, but I also feel this is, for some of you, your own energy. This is feeling your own power again. This is about you intuitively opening up to the energy around you. Queen of Wands is a woman of action. Just look at her. Male or female doesn't matter. Remember, we're reading the energy. But just look at her. I mean, I just feel like if anybody came along and tried to pull the wool over her eyes, it's not going to happen. Why? Because she's walked that journey of the wands. Right? She has walked that journey. And she's all the wiser. And look at that. We have the Four of Wands again. So, you know, I'm being reminded of how I was feeling over here where, yeah, it feels like half of you is being taken away. Right? If I remove myself from this situation, again, whatever it is for you, half of me is being taken away. Half of, could be within your material world. But look how fast you gain it back. Look how fast the energy comes back to you. Yet look what it's attached to now. For some of you, it's like there is a partner out there who you're meant to be with. And I have a feeling that this person, whether you've met them yet or not, I have a feeling that their own life's journey has also been very difficult. That they had great lessons that their soul, well, I wouldn't say had to go through, but again, it's like the soul knows that, you know, the soul asks for these type of journeys. We don't always have to, you know, it's like, if you believe in reincarnation, it's like, let's say you want to come back next time, and you have lived, you know, such a difficult life. Well, You may be talking to your spiritual team next and be like, next time I want to come back and I want my life to be so much easier. No problem. But did we learn our lessons from this time? You know, that's part of what karma is. To me, karma is going through an energy for soul expansion. It's also the energy of what I do to others. I then, in some way, somehow, must experience myself. I must know both sides of that coin. Now, if you're in a, someone is controlling you, you may say, well, I've never done that to them. Well, perhaps in a previous life, you did. So it's allowing those karmic lessons to end. What is being taken away, or feels like is being taken away, is replaced so quickly. And this may be what your guides are screaming to you. I feel like I'm reading really slow. I feel like the Queen of Wands is also representing, for some of you, the building back up of your own self-confidence. To the point, I feel like for some of you, this is also about, you're making changes within yourself. You want to start feeling better about yourself. Some of you may be adding in meditation, yoga, different forms of exercise, but not just for the body, also for the soul. Before we move on, I want to look at the Seven of Pentacles and the Lovers together. Lovers is a card of Gemini. I don't know if I said that. Represents Gemini, I should say. Excuse me. There's some cards flying. Every time I put my feet up, I sit Indian style a lot because I'm only 5'2". So a lot of chairs, my legs just kind of hang. It's just a habit I have. And every time I do that, cards fly. I know it's my guys trying to get my feet back on that floor. So let me look. Okay, so I'm looking at the Lovers and I'm looking at the Seven Pentacles together. Now, I'm doing that because I know that this energy is, let's just look at this for a second. I'm looking up here. It's like a pentacle. I'm following the trail. You see that trail? They're connected to their hearts. And then the Seven of Pentacles. My seeds of intention. I just had this in Libra's reading where I was seeing this as like their garden, an untended garden. What our soul desires, but we haven't been putting in the effort to manifest it, right? But somebody realizing that. You know, why do we need patience within the Seven of Pentacles? Well, sometimes we haven't learned the lesson from a certain journey. So it is about your soul not wanting to move on because what has not been learned will be repeated. So it's almost like a insurance policy. You know, like the universe is giving you this insurance policy, though it feels like hell. But your loved ones don't want you to repeat it. Let's just learn this lesson. So we haven't been here in a while. You know, it reminds me of not really putting in the effort towards ourselves. So our own garden dries up. Yet those seeds of intention don't go away. They're definitely connected. We have the Ten of Wands. And we have the Prince of Swords. Well, in one way, I'm glad to see the Ten of Wands. Because I feel like this is saying, okay, especially attached to the Seven of Pentacles. Ten of Wands, difficult journey. Doesn't mean it was all difficult, right? There was ups and downs, but it is a journey of, well, you know, when I think of Scorpio, I think of you definitely taking on other people's burdens. I think of all the signs, you, more than anyone, taking on other people's emotional burdens. You know, other signs do take on other people's burdens without doubt. But within your energy, and it is because of how big your heart is. And I don't care if you've loved a Scorpio and they have broken your heart and blah, 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 blah. You know, I see that so much. I find it kind of ridiculous that we can take one person's energy who's been in our life and assume that every single Scorpio is like that in the world. You need to raise your own vibration if that's how you feel. And I'm sorry about that, but I know, I just feel the energy if someone's going to say that. Anyway. So, what this is really showing me is the journey that you've been on has been a journey of other people's burdens that then came upon your shoulders. And the energy of it weighing you down so deeply. You know, I look at the Seven Pentacles attached to that. Again, much like Libra, I haven't put much time into my own garden. I haven't been taking care of my own wishes, my own intentions. I haven't been paying attention to that because I have been trying to fix someone, right? Change someone, feeling obligated to do that. Coming on judgment and saying, this is not. Relieve yourself of that, right? Because again, I also felt that guilt in the beginning. Relieve yourself of that energy. This 10, to me, is a blessing because number one, it's a 10. It is telling me that it is able to end. There is a power within you that is going to rise if you allow it. Now, does that mean that you can leave a certain situation overnight? Some of you, yes. Some of you, no. Of course not. But what it talks about is get ready for it. Prepare for it. Act like it's already there. Water that garden. Yes, some of you, it is, I'm looking for a great love. I'm looking for a real love. I'm looking for someone who, for some of you, it's like you're looking for someone to save you. Yet, especially with the Prince of Swords, I feel like it's not about someone else saving you. It's about you saving yourself. I get the 10 and the 7. 17, which would be an 8. So where are these seeds' attentions? Where are your seeds taking you? Towards your own desire. Towards your own desire. I think the 8, as above, so below. Your soul family. You're connected. You will always be connected. Couldn't feel them back here. You got wrapped up in something deeply. You got pulled down into an energy unwillingly, yet somewhat willingly. You've taken on a lot of people's burdens. You've learned a lot, though. Now it's time to take that love that you've been given to others, where for some of you, very few have been respecting that, and pour it back into yourself. Remembering who you are, whatever I'm leaving here or changing here, and I don't mean that other person, I mean within yourself. But I fear that I'm going to lose. You don't, and is replaced. And by the way, if I'm giving something up, something better is coming. This is about your authentic life. Even those who have lost a previous partner, I'm feeling the same thing as in, within this Lover's card. And by the way, when I see the Lover's card, yes, I know, it can be a head over heart decision. I pick up different energy with it. I pick up a high vibrational love. But this is about now being like this person, beginning this journey, and feeling powerful. This is about being able to rip off all those masks, all those layers. And by the way, please do that. Don't bring those layers of sadness, anger, confusion, woe is me, all that of my past into your future. There were lessons. Again, you learn from these lessons, or you will be. You have the capability of. I guess it's really up to you. But here is the opportunity. You always have this opportunity. This is more about the universe, especially with these 2 towers coming out, wanting you to look at yourself. Almost like whatever it is, whatever I've been telling myself that's been holding me down, holding me back, I almost can't help but see the truth. I knew I needed to keep that out for a reason. You know, I just want to say for some of you, I do feel Gemini's energy here. Does not mean for, don't even worry about it if, if you're feeling this energy and if this you've already moved into this energy, it's not Gemini, don't worry about that. But for some of you, and the only reason I really say it is because I feel like somebody is calling for me to say that, like almost like a confirmation for them. So I feel like you needed that confirmation. Okay, let's keep going. And keeping the Lovers out. By the way, I'm glad that the Four of Wands came back out, because again, this is one of my favorite cards. I have, very seldom do I feel all that heavy energy that I felt here, but I did feel it, and I'm happy that it came back out, because, some call this a marriage card. This is definitely a commitment card. This is celebration over a commitment. Coming out of judgment. And just the energy I felt before, like your soul family just like hanging out, talking about you, like how do we push? Like what do we do? Like someone get the book. What is it we were meant to do next? So once you make this movement, it's definitely celebration. And again, with the Lovers, for some of you, you're meeting someone who, you're both teachers. So whether, as I say that, I don't know, what it is within your teaching yet, but it has to do with your experiences. Excuse me, I just need to take a drink real quick. It's like I could feel I was in that Seven of Pentacles energy where it felt very dry. Okay. Let's keep going. I feel like some of you are saying, I don't even know what I would do. I don't even know where my purpose would lie. It lies within the experiences of your life. It lies within the mountains you have climbed over. Six of Wands. It's a card of victory. It's a card of victory after an energy of, I don't know. Like when I think of the Five of Wands, I think of competition. I feel like it's energy, almost like what I was saying before, of mirroring someone else's energy. So someone pulling you down into their low vibration, and you pulling yourself back out. This is victory over something that you have overcome. Princess of Swords. feel like this Princess of Swords is bringing us some kind of information. Something's coming in with her. Whoa. Excuse me, I had a couple cards fly. And they're face up. With the Queen of Cups, and we have the High Priestess. Oh, and we have the Hierophant. Okay. So, again, I feel like this Princess of Swords, I feel like I have to say yes. It can be a younger air sign for some. But she's bringing us information. Number one, she's bringing information for those who, whatever your situation was, those who maybe financially worried. She's bringing information of your finances having the ability, or your finances. She's bringing information in that talks about not having to worry about your finances. Okay. It's almost like your finances become an afterthought. Why is that? Well, it's okay. Well, it's like energy of, when I do my readings, I am not charging for my readings, right? I'm not charging. Yet, you do send me beautiful donations. And, I mean, I'm being called to talk about this. This is not just me. So, what she's bringing in is letting you know, because you're being called to service, right? There's something that you're doing that's going to help others. Don't think that it's something that, like, okay, it must be big. I have to change the world. It doesn't have to be big. It may be small. It may be something within your own community. But the information is that your finances will be fine through this. Now, for some of you, I felt this energy earlier, as in being called to action, right? So maybe I see something on the news that just hits me in my heart, where I feel like I have to stand up. I have to do something about it. And that leads you down a completely different path, a path that you never expected. For some of you, a path that you didn't even think, how do I put this, that you were qualified to be on. I feel like this is kind of shocking for you in the best of ways. The Hierophant is looking right over here. I feel like this Hierophant is directing people, is showing people the way. But what he's showing is energy towards victory, the overcoming, the ability to overcome. So through this new journey, this new path, that some of you feel forced upon, not forced upon, you feel the calling towards. And By the way, this can be anything. You know, this can be reading tarot. This can be energy healing. But for some of you, this is about fighting. I don't want to use the word fighting. This is about a calling into politics, a road you never thought you'd travel. This could be organization, bringing people together to perhaps protest, demanding a higher level of government. It is also showing me that as you begin this journey, and I'm not going to say it's going to be easy, but I am going to say that you are going to fall in love with it. The payoff. Okay, this is why I was talking about my readings. Because to me, the payoff is your life. Is when someone leaves me a comment and says, I was able to leave this situation, or I made a decision that changed my life because of a reading. That, my friend, is my payoff. When I get, you know, an email, someone tells me, you know, they were close to taking their life, and then something within the reading changed their mind. That is my payoff. It is not about the money. Truly, that is my payoff, and that is what I'm feeling for you. So it's not money that's pulling me, right? Yet at the same time, you're being told that your finances almost like are will be taken care of. It will just kind of fall into place. And, you know, this Hierophant's also looking at the Lover's card. So as I go through this energy, perhaps some of you, this is where, well, it makes complete sense to me now. It's like this is where that other half of you is at. This is someone who is happy to stand beside you and fight that fight with you. And I'm not, you know, I hate to use the word fight because it's not like I'm saying go fight the government. No, it's I'm standing up for those who perhaps the government didn't stand up for. Now, again, this can just be something within your own community. This can be helping one person. But nonetheless, what this is doing is oh my gosh, it's completely different energy. So now I'm vibrating. Vibrating? Is that the word? These burdens of my past, where before in my life I may have dragged them from one situation to the next and to the next. You see them for what they are. And you're just in a different energy field. I mean, I don't even know. Excuse me. You're helping others see their light. And as you're doing this, you just so happen to find love it just feels like so guided. So as I raise my vibration, as I start to see, let's just say, life for what it truly is, as I understand that these 10 burdens are not supposed to come with me other than the lesson to help others. It's raising my own vibration. And through that, what I'm attracting to myself is night and day. And as I do this, as I begin this path, even if I'm not 100% confident, there's something that is ignited that makes you do it anyway. The people and the energy that starts coming into your life is night and day. And not only that, you fall in love, not just with a person, but with your life's purpose. Some of you, you know, if it hasn't been illuminated to you yet, it will be. Because it's telling me that it's coming to you. This victory over whatever journeys that we've been through, we need to take a moment and celebrate that first. But you are falling in love with your life. Well, you know, it's almost like the blessing after the difficulty. I do feel like some of you are becoming spiritual healers. Some of you definitely the third eye opening, right? And definitely attracting someone into your life who then, I mean, is becoming the love of your life. So, wow, you know, boy, I'm just thinking how I was just hoping this reading got better and then was giving the sense within myself that it would, to continue on. You know, that's what I hear. Continue on, Sandy. Here it is. And I also have to say that there's no way this new path could exist if this old path didn't also exist. If you're in it, you may not believe it right now. And that might be why you need to revisit this in a little while. If you're starting to feel your own power within you, understand that this is what's coming. Different versions for different people, but wow, does it feel widespread. Illumination. Helping others to overcome. And again, I'm being reminded, yes, we need money to live. Of course we do. But as we live within our authentic selves, doing what our soul's calling is, other things just fall in place. What I had, you know, what I put so much value in over here, whether that be a home, whether that be the furnishings in a home, over here, even, you know, it's like, doesn't even matter to me anymore. But that doesn't mean you won't have it. Oh, you will. It's like the universe now taking care of you because you are, you know, I'm just going to do this real quick. Again, someone over here taking away your power. Someone over here bringing your vibration down. Some of you feeling weak, right? Like, I cannot make the changes. Universe, spiritual help, your loved ones are feeding this energy within you. You merely have to allow yourself to start feeling it. This is not about feeling guilty. This is not about, you know, I don't want you to play or feel the victim role here, because everything that you've gone through has a purpose. I don't even know a card we're clarifying at this point. I don't even think it matters. Wow, okay. We were clarifying the Seven of Cups. I feel like there's just certain cards I have to leave out. So I'm leaving out the Six of Wands. So that's victory. Victory of overcoming. Victory of overcoming whatever the energy is, right? Leaving out the Lovers, and I'm leaving out the Two of Wands. Okay, let's go to this Tower. We have the Prince of Cups, and we have the Five of Pentacles on this Tower. Now, we could look at this Prince of Cups as your own energy, right? Like the Tower, though, is coming in to end a situation, you know, and for some, when they see the Tower, they think automatically of destruction. It can feel shocking, right? Sometimes it's a very quick energy. Yet this Tower, if it never would have come in, and when I'm saying the Tower, just think of energy, right? Energy to push me. How long? How many strikes would you have given over here? Okay, so we have the Prince of Cups, the Five of Wands, or the Five of Pentacles, and Five of Pentacles is a perfect card to come out right now, because this is the card of feeling pushed, right? Feeling left down in the cold, forced to move in a different direction. Five of Pentacles is about the wounded warrior. You know, I have been wounded through my journey, but I am the warrior, so I have the ability to heal that and then understand it. To understand it. Prince of Cups can be quite a loving energy. Though for some of you, I do feel this is the energy of someone beforehand. You know, whether it be that person who is robbing you of that energy. And I want to take a card on him. Him, her, by the way. You know, I want to remind you too, when you see the Five of Pentacles, what you got to think about is, yes, sometimes I feel forced to do something. You know, sometimes I don't have an option. You know, sometimes I have to move home. I have to move from my home for whatever the reason. Sometimes I lose a job out of the blue, and at that moment, it feels difficult. However, within the Five of Pentacles is like a support of a community of your own spirit guides. Here, your soul family, you know, you're not alone here. And through this journey, yes, have the wounds, but you also have the ability to take those wounds, bring them into a spiritual type of energy, where again, I then not only help myself, but I help others. This Prince of Cups is throwing me a little bit because I'm not really feeling positive energy coming from this card right now. And, you know, could be Cancer. We do have the Chariot down here. So this could be, for some of you, the person that you are leaving. You know, they leave you, or however it happens. The energy you're moving away from, let's put it that way. It's maybe someone you've been with for quite a while. With the Seven of Cups again. Okay, yeah. I mean, just look at the image within this Seven of Cups. Look at him. I feel when I see this image that this person is thinking about someone else having all these options. I also feel within this person there may be a deep sense of regret. I want to say that's not your concern, but yet I know your heart, you know. It's like, well, I don't want to leave anyone like that. Yet at the same time, definitely feeling for some of you, this is the energy you're walking away from. At the same time, I feel like Spirit is just saying, leave this to us. Leave this to us. This reminds me of the Lovers. This can certainly be the energy of whoever this person is, seeing, feeling that your life is improving. I don't feel fear attached to this, as in do I have to worry about this person, because the energy we just had, your vibration is being lifted, your spirit is being protected, and it just reminds me of, you know, again, when I'm in a high vibration, those who are in a low vibration can't stick to me, can't affect me. Their words can't affect me, right? So as I am being more and more my authentic self, loving myself, and loving the journey you're about to embark on, someone comes up to you, you know, and tries to pull you back down, they can't do it. Now, can you give into that energy? Absolutely. You have free will. But I don't think you do. I feel like it is someone just seeing you take this different direction, this different path. Almost like they are in shock and awe. Well, I don't know. It's like I'm not feeling pity. I'm just not feeling pity at this point. Okay, I feel like I want to turn that one around. It's strange how I went across instead of down. So let's keep going. Let's go into this Five of Cups. But then I got the Five of Wands. So Five of Cups. This is the energy of being within something. Looking at how do I want to say this? Well, for some of you, I feel like it's just like wishing at this moment, or perhaps, if you've moved out of this, wishing for better, wanting better. I feel like, as this person looks down at these three cups that are not only knocked over, but I mean, there's actually blood coming from it. I feel like this is more about healing over that. We have these two cups right here. I often feel like this is the robe of the hermit. So I'm starting to get clarity over the destruction of what feels like my love life, where I gave my love. Definitely feeling injured, wounded over it. But I also feel the healing over that too. Just look at the image where this person is in a very cold place, right? Snow. So this isn't a great time in my life. This isn't a time when I'm feeling blessed. Yet there are two cups right behind them. This is when I'm focusing on things not working. For some of you, this is like you putting the blame on yourself. I just feel like for some, it's like you feel like you're in a state of confusion. Like, why? What is going on here? How did I end up here? How did I get myself into this? Can it be turned around? Do I heal it? What do I do? You leave it. I feel like with these cups, it's not about trying to re-erect them, stand them back up. I feel like these cups are a clear message that this is not meant to come back. This is not meant to come back to you. I think of the five, and I think of current energy. So I do know that some of you are in this energy right now. And I guess I want to say to you that those two cups behind you are real. They exist. They're part of your path. They're part of your future. And you will wake up from this haze that someone else has pulled you into. You will come out of it. And the two cups behind you aren't going anywhere. You're not losing them. And I feel like the reason why I'm saying this is because this isn't an instant fix. I know that. I can't just instantly, well, I mean, sometimes we can, but in this situation, for some of you, I can't just instantly change everything. And I know that. So I feel like what you need to do is know that those 2 cups still exist, will exist, and whenever you're ready, whenever the light starts sinking back in, right, into your soul, you know, again, I feel like you have the cloak of the hermit on. I feel like this is protection. Not only protection, but the ability to, again, start to let the light seep in. And as this light seeps in, clarity comes in. You know, some may think I'm spending a lot of time on this type of energy, but if you've never been in this type of energy, then you don't understand how difficult it is to, number one, figure out how you even got into it, right? How did I end up in this? Number 2, then find the power to stand up to it. And number 3, have to figure out how to get out of it. Let your spirit guides help you here. The 5 of Wands with that. And this was the energy I was feeling earlier, like this person, you know, where you have to be careful you're not now mirroring their energy. This may be what's keeping you with your head down, focusing on all the bad. They may have pulled you into their energy, but it's not you. It's not your authentic self. And again, you're going to learn from this. What a tough lesson. But look at what you end up doing with it. Okay, let's keep going. That 9 of Cups. Nine of Cups. This is about living your dream, right? This is about your wishes. I love how in this 9 of Cups there's 2 people. Normally there's only 1 person in there. And normally the reason why there's 1 person is because it is somewhat of an independent energy. It is about learning to love. You know, that first cup is about self-love. So as the 9 of Cups, I am moving into the 10 of Cups eventually, right? But before I can really be everything that I can be within the 10 of Cups, I need that self-love first. I need to understand that, you know, everything that was said to me, done to me, to bring me down, I'm going to turn around and use it, build upon it, and just become stronger and stronger and stronger. This is falling on the Chariot. So what this is telling me is as you gain balance over yourself, even if you're still stuck in a situation, mentally, tell yourself, not for long. Start planning. Pick up the phone. Ask for help. Do what you need to do. But one way or the other, just like the 8 of Cups, it's moving you in, you know, not only is it moving you towards your desires, but this is telling me that you shall have it, because it's on the Chariot. She's got her wedding bell on. I've never noticed that. You know, I could certainly be fantasizing here about a greater love, but even if I'm doing that, if I'm doing it from positivity, I can certainly be manifesting it, right? However, I just have to realize that I can't let other people pull me down into their energy. Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands is the energy of defending oneself over other people's actions, other people's words, other people's beliefs. This is also a card of being victorious over that, though. But I do need to look within us and see, you know, how much of this have I taken on? How much of it have I absorbed and then believed? Has someone else's perspective now become mine? You know, it's almost like I can see the building of your self-confidence through this reading. The building up. We have the Ace of Wands. We have the Moon, which actually really came out next. Card of Pisces. Can be Cancer. And then the Hangman came after that. And then we had the Ace of Wands after that. And we're on the Chariot. So, the Chariot is falling under the card Judgment. Judgment is about a rebirth. Judgment is about the truth of the matter. We have the Ace of Wands, which to me is also about passion, action. So, let's go back here for a second. We have the Chariot. Chariot is a card of willpower. I'm bringing it to me. How do I bring it to me? Through my balance, through my understanding. Do I need perfection? Do I need to be completely balanced? No. You need to be working towards it. It's more about understanding. Like if we go back into that Five of Cups, the understanding of those three cups that are spilt over. For some of you, it's like not putting fault within yourself, because I can see that you had to defend yourself, you know, or you may have to defend yourself. You may have to defend your actions, but it's so you could start living the life of your dreams. You know, this is taking you from one energy to the next. I have the Moon with the Hangman. I almost feel like I'm in an illusionary state here. I don't know what to believe, what not to believe. Yet, with the Ace of Wands here, to me, it almost crosses out the energy of the Moon. I mean, the energy of living in an illusionary way. What people have been telling me, or a certain person has been telling me about myself. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I can't do this. Maybe I'm overweight. Maybe this, that. Doing it only to bring me down. I'm feeling it, I'm seeing it, and I'm growing from it. They can't keep you there. As you start to raise up. How am I going to do that? Got to start looking within myself. Again, the ability to start living one's dream life, which is already shown to us, by first filling our own cup. Again, I'm not shooting for perfection. I'm shooting for understanding. As I do that, I come out of this illusionary state that others and myself have put myself in. Hangman, I'm seeking wisdom. Even if I'm stuck in a situation, I'm still seeking the wisdom I need to then move forward. I also feel like the Hangman is speaking of the wisdom gained during this time period. And then the Ace of Wands. Now the ability to move out of it, but to move out of it with clarity. Passion for one's life again. Let's keep going. Oh my God, this is going to be a long reading, guys. But I'm sorry. I just feel like it, I mean, people are going to be like, well, stop talking so much. I don't feel like there's been a wasted word. I just want to say for some of you, I feel like in, I'm not sure how far in the future, but I feel like some of you, you're moving from like a white collar job into some type of service. Can I tell you that there is peace coming? I feel like also the Hierophant, which has come out twice, is, how do I say, it's almost like making a sacrifice. But making a sacrifice for my highest good. And that may speak to those who may be leaving a white-collar job. So that sacrifice may be finances. But I want to remind you again how within the reading, it is like you will be taken care of. Okay. We have the Four of Cups, which makes perfect sense here, especially if you're resonating with this white-collar job, because I feel like this is definitely talking about even if I have it all, I'm dissatisfied. I'm dissatisfied. I could have gone and, boy, this reminds me of, well, I won't say your name, but you did leave a comment about having a degree and still having a hard time finding a minimum wage job, right? And I definitely felt within that person's energy, it's because they were, excuse me, there was a different path. Does it mean that that degree was a waste of time? Absolutely not. They'll just be using it in a different way, if they choose. Anyway. So I can be making a ton of money, right? I could be working on Wall Street. I could be doing anything, making a ton of money. It does not mean I'm satisfied with my life. That is no guarantee whatsoever. With the Two of Swords. And I feel like the Two of Swords is popping up. Because I feel like if this is you, this is your energy, So something you think about. You probably think about it every single morning. That you want to make a change. And you may carry a little guilt, right? Geez, you know, I have $30,000 in student loans, and now I'm going to do work, service work, if that's what you're called to do. You know, your reading almost is telling me, even though we all need money, that's not where our focus should be right now. Because that will fall in place, right? You will have enough. You will have enough. What's happening is you are not mentally satisfied. You know, maybe you get up every morning, it's like, ugh, I gotta go work 10, 12 hours today. I gotta make money for this company. Yes, I benefit too, but I'm tired of it. You know, you may be, it's weird, I picked this up in someone else's reading too, because I feel like you may have gotten a degree, like let's say you got a degree to become an attorney, and your goal, your dream was then to help those, right? So I did it with a purpose. I became a doctor so I could help. But then it turns around and you find within this job that it's the fast pace, right? Where, yeah, I'm helping to a point, but I'm not feeling it any longer. Well, maybe you take that same degree and you use it in a different fashion. Personal choice. But I can feel it. I can feel the dissatisfaction within it. And I know it's something that someone's been thinking about. You know, maybe through all the eclipse season, where the energy, you know, all these planets have gone retrograde. You know, Saturn asks us, what have you done with your time? You know, tell me what you have done. How have you grown? And I can't answer that. Well, I start to feel the restriction from it. There's a little birdie there. It's almost like this little bird is giving you direction. Excuse me. Cards just flew. Look at that. We have the 10 of Pentacles. And we have the King of Wands. The man of action. 10 of Pentacles. Excuse me. Well, you know, sometimes when I place cards down, I really do it without much intention. But then after I do it, I see exactly why I did it. So I have the 4 of Cups, I have the 2 of Swords, both concentrating on this 10 of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles. I have plenty of money here, right? I'm well taken care of. My material world is great. The King of Wands and the man in the 10 of Pentacles are not looking at each other. Matter of fact, the 10 of Pentacles is looking the other direction. So, again, even if I'm making a lot of money, I am not satisfied. Money cannot buy you happiness. This King of Wands, I'm sorry. Sometimes a card just pulls me in. I'm noticing within this King of Wands, which, you know, is a fire energy, but it doesn't have to. It means fire. We're taking on that fire energy. You can also be a fire sign. But I am noticing just within the crown that he's wearing and the Tower card that came out before, how that was the crown that was coming down. You know, I don't want to scare anyone, but for, you know, if you are, say you are making a lot of money right now, okay, and you're in some type of white-collar job, but again, you have this dissatisfaction within it. You yourself may be calling in that tower. Again, it's your soul's calling. Because then I have that Two of Wands again. So, wanting to take a new path. Let's get a little bit more clarity on that. Jeez. Excuse me. I have the Knight of Wands, which is in reverse because the rest are upright, so I'm going to leave it this way. You know, Nine of Wands to me is about a journey that I've been on, right? It's like the Ten of Wands. A journey is meant to take. It's an energy of not giving up. It is coming in reverse to me. On this King of Wands. I just feel like someone doesn't think, gee, it's like a dissatisfaction within my life. You know, even though if, you know, to others it looks like I have everything, there's still dissatisfaction within my life. How long can I keep doing this? You know, feeling that dissatisfaction. That's what I'm feeling with the Knight of Wands. Like, you're feeling that. You are feeling that dissatisfaction. Maybe you're meant to. Because look, we have the Star after that. Card of Aquarius. But this is a card about manifesting what you truly want in your life. And the ability to do it. We have the King of Cups. Look at this. We have the King of Pentacles. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles. So, what a twist we're taking at the end, because this is talking about those who, you know, you are making a good living. You are bringing home the finances. But there is dissatisfaction within it. Even if you have that degree, right? It may be for some, it's like, how can I, you know, I spent all this money to go to school. I have spent all this time learning, yet this dissatisfaction remains, clearly remains. You do wake up wondering, is this it? Am I doing this every day? With the King of Wands showing up here too, you know, I do feel like for some of you, Like your goal in the beginning was to help others, was to be of service. Yet, now, it's not so much you, but it could be the company. You know, it just reminds me of like working in a hospital and the fast pace of it. And am I able to give each individual person what they truly need? Now, that can't be your fault, right? Because the pace is so fast. But this is not what I thought. Now, I'm not saying if you're a doctor, quit your job. I mean, this is your own personal choice, but the energy is here. For some of you, especially with the King of Pentacles here, this can certainly be the energy of, yes, leaving the job that I have and starting my own. Taking that degree I have and beginning my own business, my own practice. The Ace of Pentacles just feels like the support. Like it will fall into place. This King of Cups is looking over at this King of Pentacles. Almost like reminding each other of what my true goal was. And it's not turning out the way I thought. There's certainly dissatisfaction within it. You're certainly questioning it. And I feel like you've been questioning it, you know, you may question it 10 times a day. But I feel like there's a lot of mornings, you know, or a lot of nights when you come home and you question what you're doing. And some of you are doing it because you don't feel like you're giving the service that you want to give to another. I feel like you can, if you choose, start your own business, start your own company, start your own organization. And again, with the Ace of Pentacles, it's like, I don't know, Scorpio, it's just like finances just seem to fall in place as we serve others. From our heart. Following your dream. I also feel like if, let's say this is already what you're thinking about, you may be trying to finance or trying to manifest the finances to begin. I feel like if that is your case, it will happen. Again, if this is coming from your heart, things are falling in place. But it has to be your own personal choice, right? The universe is pushing a lot of you in this direction. And I mean, who better than Scorpio? Who better than Scorpio? And you do want to live from your heart. And I don't care what anybody says about you. I don't care how many nasty comments I get about that. I know Scorpio. And yes, I know both sides. You're being called into service. Now, you're being called into service because that is what you've wanted. Different levels of it. But in each one of it, there are so many blessings. The payoff is about how the payoff is as you watch each person you help. You watch them turn their lives around. That is the payoff. And everything else will take care of itself. Even if I have to move from a mansion into a 2-bedroom apartment, the happiness I gain is unbelievable. Wow. And listen, you know, I'm looking at the lovers too. And all I can say is, as all of you who resonate with this message, as you start moving towards this energy, and listen, you feel the calling, okay? This is not me telling you, oh, you are meant to go into service. No, this is your heart already knows this, right? You already know this within your intuition. Even if you're not sure, like, you know, you may be questioning, what is my purpose? Let that light seep in, your spirit behind you, moving us into position almost. And as we do that, this just isn't about finances. This isn't just about living your soul's purpose. This is showing you how, as that vibration raises, what comes towards you is of great value. Any love that comes into your life at that point, it's just the love of your life. Okay, I think I'm going to let that go. Wow, I think this may have been the longest YouTube reading. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Wow. Okay, guys. I'm going to let that be. This is definitely a reading that's going to have to soak in. You may have to take it in parts. Of course, you're not going to know that because you probably didn't get to the end of the reading yet. But it's just meant to be that long. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. I can't wait to see the comments. I know there's going to be quite a mixture, but I really can't wait to see the comments. Okay, guys, I love you. I got to end this. I will see you soon. Bye-bye.